Hello there.
Hey guys, Josh Lloyd here. What to watch for in the NBA for the last day before the All-Star break, Thursday. Let's talk about these games. First game up, the Clippers and the Wizards. Will we get the fun guy playing?
I'm a fun guy.
Kawhi, obviously that weird late scratch before the last game. Will he be in? How's he going to look before the All-Star break? How's that going to impact the other players, like your Terrence Manns, your Patrick Beverleys, your Lou Williamses, Reggie Jackson, who's the guy that stepped in for Kawhi last game? How's that all going to go? And then Beverley is one I want to watch because he's putting up some good defensive stats. We know he's a really good rebounder as a point guard. He's not going to be a good scorer, but he shoots the three ball pretty well. And I think he is going to push into 12-team league discussions. For the Wizards, Denny Avdija. Denny Avdija, of course, is his name. But what's his role? Because he was starting, he went to the bench. The Wizards' rotation roulette was in full effect last game as Garrison Matthews started, then played 9 minutes. Then Isaac Bonga started the second half and played like 8 minutes. Does Avdija get back in to be the starter again? He's not anywhere near a fantasy-relevant player, but I'd like to see some consistency in your mate Scott Brooks and what he does with the rotation. And the same goes for the centers. Robin Lopez had been getting you 22, 23 minutes relatively consistently. Then he started the second half last game and played like 13 minutes. No consistency, nothing predictable. He is the most consistent, Lopez, of the Wagner, Len, Lopez trio. What a trio that is. He is the most consistent of that group, but that doesn't mean all that much. He is an interesting guy, I guess, if you're looking for a field goal percentage boost, but not much more than that fantasy-wise. But he is someone that we can pay attention to and maybe be a stream option for us at best. The Raptors and the Celtics, back-to-back for Toronto. Look, I don't know what to make of the wiki Chris Boucher. They didn't have anyone playing, really, on Wednesday. They still brought him off the bench, even though Nick Nurse isn't coaching. I know he has limitations, Boucher, but only 25 minutes in a game where he scored 18 points when you're giving 19 minutes to Paul Watson and 27 minutes to DeAndre Bembry and no fouls for Boucher. He was a team worst minus 24. That is a factor. But we just want to see what they do. They could unleash him in this game, or he could do nothing. I want to watch Terrence Davis as well, who got the start and was horrendous. High usage, which is encouraging. So if he gets another start, I don't expect him to be an 18% shooter. So there could be some value in him. And then for the Celtics, of course, we're watching the Rock DJ, Robbie Williams, who is pushing up in terms of minutes. We're seeing that playing time increase sort of consistently. Now, he could easily play 12 minutes in this game or 14 minutes, but we want to see what he's able to do. And then Jason Tatum, who outside of like one game has been pretty poor the last couple of weeks, dealing with fatigue from COVID. The shots also just aren't going in, and I think his problems will be remedied if the shots just start falling. He's had some issues with shot selection over his career. This season's no exception to that, so let's see if he can tighten that up a little bit. Next one we look at is the Pistons and the Knicks. The Pistons, the massive win over the Raptors. Will they get Jeremy Grant back? Will they get Josh Jackson back? I don't know. But I do want to pay some attention to Isaiah Stewart, who had been putting up some okay numbers, cutting into some of the playing time for Mason Plumlee. He got another 20 minutes in the blowout victory on Wednesday. He didn't get the double-digit rebounds, but he blocked another 2 shots, and he's providing some interesting numbers. On a back-to-back, do they go a little bit easy on Mason Plumlee? That will be one to watch. And then, of course, we want to see Josh Jackson, whether he is ready to go. And then we saw guys like Rodney Magruder and Svi Mikhailuk play a ton of minutes on Wednesday. So Jackson's going to need to cut into that. For the Knicks, we don't know whether Derrick Rose is going to play. Initially, it was said that he would miss this game, but he has left with the team on the flight. He is questionable. So what does that mean for Emmanuel Quickley, who played 29 minutes last game? He's extremely high usage. He is also extremely inefficient with his field goal percentage, but he gets to the line a ton, and he's scoring well. But with Rose, if Rose plays, what does that mean for Quickley? And then I want to check on Rowan Barrett Jr., who's had a better month throughout February. We still have concerns about his overall value because of sometimes the issues with his percentages or lack of defensive stats. So let's watch what he can do. Can he keep this good shooting run that he's been on up? Next game. Nuggets Pacers, Michael Porter Jr. Are we going to get a decent game from him? Last game he was in foul trouble. No Millsap, no Green, no Harris again. So he's going to start at his best position, which is power forward. If he has a massive one here, and if he has a big game, I would look to sell him in a trade if it's possible. And then PJ Dozier, who was massive usage last game. Him and Vlatko Čančar off the bench were running things for this Nuggets team in a massive win over the Milwaukee Bucks. But Dozier's a guy that, again, in a deeper league, if you're looking for a stream with all these guys out, he's going to get opportunities. Malone loves him. For the Pacers, it is a back-to-back for them. Malcolm Brogdon was pretty good on Wednesday, so I'd like to pay some attention in on him. Also want to watch Miles Turner, who, again, continues to be really good when he's the only center out there. He blocked another 4 shots on Wednesday, but the bulk of the value isn't there because he doesn't get any sort of usage. The minutes fluctuate quite a bit, and it can be frustrating. And when your value is so tied into a low-volume stat like blocks, now he did have 4 fouls on Wednesday, so that limited him somewhat. There is always the worry there of where that value sits. He's yo-yoed up and down this season. Top 10, outside top 30. I think he's 24th or 25th at the moment. So let's pay attention to him. Next game, Bucks-Grizzlies. The big ragu, Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know whether we'll get the Drew Holiday back starting and playing big minutes, but I am really concerned about where DiVincenzo's value is heading. I want to see if he can do something with Holiday back in the lineup because really most of this season he hasn't been able to do that. I don't believe he's a 12-team league player. And then I want to watch Holiday. Are we going to get 20 minutes of Drew Holiday? Are we going to get 25? We're going to get 30. He's a massive buy low at the moment after his 2 games back from COVID. Some people will panic about it. I wouldn't be, but some people will be, so that's why you come in on a buy low. Let's see. I think they will limit him again here and then give him the All-Star break to get the conditioning back up and then roll him out full strength when we return. For the Grizzlies, it is all about the wave pool to me. DeAnthony Melton, who has been massive the last 2 games. There is no Grayson Allen in this game, so he's going to get another opportunity. Let's hope Jenkins pushes him to 25 minutes or so and provides value. An excellent stream guy. Well, Kyle Anderson is not on the injury report anymore, so Brandon Clark likely moves back to the bench. So what does his role look like? 34 minutes last game for Clark. He won't get that much in this one. So let's see if he's able to be useful in those 24 minutes versus getting the 34 minutes. The Heat and the Pelicans. Kendrick Nunn. Jimmy Butler is the big question mark there about whether he is going to play, and then what does that do for Kendrick Nunn? Because if Jimmy and Bam both play, they're both questionable. Nunn's role becomes a little bit more precarious. I still think he'd play 20-plus minutes, but is he a 30-minute guy or is he a 20-minute guy? That's what the question's going to be here for Nunn. And then we want to watch Kelly. No, sorry, we do want to watch Kelly, but I want to watch Tyler Hero.
Everyone has a hero.
True.
0 people shouldn't have a hero. Yeah.
Just under 30 minutes in his first 2 games back from that hip issue that he was suffering. I still do believe that he is a 12-team league must-roster player, but he's fringy. He's very fringy, and it hasn't gone as well as I think some would have hoped for him this season. For the Pelicans, we want to pay attention to Eric Bledsoe because his minutes had been pushing up of late, which was weird because they'd been trending down in a significant direction. He'd been playing well, didn't play all that well on Wednesday against the Bulls, so I'd like to see him do a little bit more. And then Lonzo Ball, who is continually playing well almost every game. And I want to just focus in a little bit on him. How much he gets the ball. Is he running it through transition? Is it half-court stuff? Is it realistic for him to maintain? I sort of think it is. I reckon he might have figured out his shooting problems, to be honest. Next up, Thunder-Spurs, back-to-back for the Thunder, so we probably won't be having Al Horford play. So that gives extra value to guys like Isaiah Roby. It also does help a little bit with Darius Bazley, just a few more touches there in the front court. A guy that, of course, has been frustrating as anything this year with his inconsistency, his poor shooting numbers. Yes, the time I'm recording this, he started off poorly again on Wednesday, but at least there's an opportunity to stream him in without Horford. And then Ty Jerome, who's getting these backup minutes behind Teo Maledon. I think he's performing relatively well in them. He's probably more of a deeper league stream, but let's see what he can offer. While for the Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge is questionable. No Gay, no Vassell, no White, but Aldridge is questionable. So what are they doing with Poeltl? I imagine they'll start Poeltl again. He'll play 25 plus minutes ahead of Aldridge. Let's see how that continues. And then Lonnie Walker will get another chance to start. 2 good starts, 1 terrible start. If I had to guess, I'd lean towards terrible again because that's just been the pattern of Lonnie Walker. Majority games are bad, and he has a couple of good ones in there. But he is going to get another opportunity for big minutes in this one. Next up, the Warriors and the Suns. Back-to-back for Golden State. Blunty, James Wiseman.
Where are you now?
Really, I just want to watch Wiseman to see if there's any reason why he's rostered in every league. Because his play, you sure wouldn't tell you that. His ranking sure wouldn't tell you that. I don't even think his future projection tells you that, considering how well they play when he's not on the court. So can we see some flashes that start to turn it around? Can he start to eat into those minutes of Kevon Looney and Eric Pascal? And then Andy Wiggins, who had a rough go of things throughout February. The shot just wasn't there. We don't know if Kelly Oubre is going to play. He did sit out on Wednesday. They haven't ruled him out of Thursday yet, so that is one for us to to pay attention to. Let's see if that does help Wiggins and provide that extra value for him in this one. We still need confirmation on that, though. And then for the Suns, no injuries for them. Do they go back to starting Jay Crowder? I imagine they do. He is, of course...
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
And probably just a streamer. Well, Dario Saric has been huge as a high-usage backup center, having an impact on DeAndre Ayton's minutes recently, taking Frank Kaminsky out of the rotation. If you're looking for points in a 14-team league, I think we can have a look at Saric as an option there. Last game is the Kings and the Blazers. No Tyrese Halliburton in this one. Buddy Hield is playing through his injury on Wednesday, but Bagley should get extra playing time, and he should be able to put up some better numbers than we've seen earlier this season, while the pencil Harrison Barnes. Barnesy. Can he continue his huge minute run with elevated rebounds and efficiency and assist numbers as well? I imagine he gets a good shot at things here, although it is a back-to-back. While for Portland, back-to-back for them as well. We're looking at Gaz Trent Jr.
Nice, Gary!
We're seeing what he is able to do. We're seeing if he can do anything apart from score. And then Derek Jones Jr., who is the opposite of Gary Trent, someone who brings the value in a field goal percentage, steals, and blocks. Minutes should be up because I don't imagine Harry Giles plays in this one. So let's watch what Derek Jones brings. If we're looking at streamers, I'm looking at Isaiah Roby, Emmanuel Quickley, Kelly Olynyk, Monty Morris, and the wave pool DeAnthony Melton. And then for points leagues, we're looking at the Rock DJ, Robbie Williams, Josh the Hitman Hart, Farton Will Barton, Dennis Smith, and Emmanuel Quickley. Guys, that'll do it for me. That's the last What to Watch For. Until after the All-Star break. So I'll see you guys with the What to Watch For shows back next week. Guys, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on YouTube. Thumbs up, comments, notification bells. We are done here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.